Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sandy Boz, Managing Director for the County of Maui, and I'm here on behalf of Mayor Victorino, who's unable to make it, to proclaim September as Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. I'd like to start off by having our Executive Community Liaison, Darlene and Drina, read our proclamation.
Thank you, Sandy. This is a County of Maui proclamation. Whereas suicide is the most tragic event a family or community can experience and is the 9th leading cause of death. And whereas in the state of Hawaii, there were 106 documented suicide deaths, of which 133 were in the County of Maui between 2016 and 2021. And whereas 45% of adults and 46% of our youth nationwide report a degradation of their mental health during the COVID-19 pandemic. And whereas the stigma associated with mental illness and suicide behavior can be improved through public awareness and education by organizations such as a Olahau, Suicide Prevention Task Force, and Mental Health of America Maui. And whereas the County of Maui and all of Hawaii's suicide prevention strategies include educating the public about resources for individuals at risk, training professionals and community members on how to identify, support, and refer individuals at risk. Now, therefore, on behalf of Sandy Boz, on behalf of the Mayor of our County of Maui, they proclaim today, September 2021, as Suicide Prevention Month throughout the County of Maui, and encourage everyone to raise awareness of local and national health suicide prevention resources available in our communities. I also ask those in need to seek the care and treatment necessary for a long and healthy life. Sandy?
Thank you very much, Darlene. So, the County of Maui does definitely encourage everyone to be aware of suicide. Anybody who has suicidal thoughts, it affects anyone, no matter age, race, religion, or life situation. So it's definitely something that we want to be aware of. And the facts that Darlene read in here are really important. One of the main things is that suicide is something that can be prevented. It can be prevented through education, awareness, and also just being out there to listen, to talk with people. Lend people a helping hand if you see that they're struggling. If you yourself are having those thoughts, reach out to someone. We have wonderful resources in our community. We have, if it's an emergency and you're having a mental health crisis, you call 911. They'll be happy to talk with you. So I'd like to introduce our two guests here this afternoon. Daniel Bergen from Mental Health of America, Mental Health Association of America, and Chris Mills from
the co-chair for the task force.
Co-chair for the task force. Anyway, I'd like to introduce them and welcome them into this ceremony here we have today, and ask them to say a few words, if you don't mind.
Yes, thank you, Sandy.
And then we'll get some pictures in a bit.
Okay, great. Well, hi, everyone. I'm Danielle Bergen, and I'm the Community Coordinator of Mental Health America of Hawaii, and I'm also the chair of the Olahau Prevent Suicide Maui County Task Force. Darlene, I know it's your last day coming up, and I believe it might be tomorrow. And I've worked with you now for going on 3 years since the Mayor Victorino administration. And you've always been easy to work with and very thorough. And I want to thank you and tell you that I'll miss you. And I know that everyone else will too. Acknowledging that Suicide Prevention Month of September in Maui is so important for our community. As you heard, close to half the adults and youth in our country have had their mental health affected during this pandemic. And as we move through the highest case counts of COVID-19 during these days in Maui County, we want to let you know that you can utilize self-care and coping skills to help deal with these. These are known as protective factors. And in many of our studies of our youth and suicide prevention, it's found that protective factors are 3 to 4 times more significant for youth to help them against the risk factors of suicide. This was why Mental Health America of Hawaii reached out to several schools in the beginning of this year and brought our self-care for youth training to their virtual classrooms. And the response in the schools and the students was fabulous. I think we taught over 500 to 600 students during that time. I can't tell you how important it is for youth to have at least one significant adult, and one significant activity in their life. This could be a grandparent, a parent, the next door neighbor. It could be a coach, a teacher. Anyone like this is really important to have in a youth's life. An activity like sports or music or dance or chess club, whatever that is, right? That activity, that meaningful adult, those two combinations are going to help that youth all the way through their life. Those without this are at a higher risk of depression for suicidal ideation. Our agency, Mental Health America Hawaii, and the Olaho Prevent Suicide Maui County Task Force helped the Department of Education this last spring and just early this summer when they went back to school when presenting our Suicide Prevention Foundations training. This is a basic suicide introductory course which was brought to all schools, as many schools as we could get to in Maui County. That includes Hana and Lanai and Molokai. Right? We have provided these open virtual trainings on the basics of suicide prevention also to Maui College, several nonprofits throughout the community, and to general members in the Maui County community. A key factor for all of us is to keep our eye on our neighbors, our ohana, our classmates, our teammates, watch their behavior. Notice if someone's not acting more like themselves for more than 2 weeks. Are they isolating? Do they seem depressed? Are they going through a stressful life event like loss of a job or maybe loss of a loved one? Have they even mentioned suicide or maybe even passing as a joke? But if they do, I want you to take this all serious. We have to reach out to people, right? What I want you to do is pull them aside. Tell them you've noticed that things look tough for them. Be empathetic, right? Be a listener. Tell them that you care about them. And it seems like things are tough these days for them. And ask them that hard question. Are you thinking of taking your life? This does not raise the risk for suicide. Let me say it twice. This does not raise the risk for suicide. It opens a door to get them help. And if they answer yes, then ask follow-up questions. Do you have a plan? Have you thought about when you would do it? Have you decided when you would do it? Remember, your goal here is not to try and solve their problems. It's to try and get them safe. Offer to sit with them and perhaps call with them the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, 800-273-8255, or Hawaii Cares, 800-753-6879, or even the crisis text line, Aloha 741-741. There are professionals there who will help. Our efforts have always been community-wide. Our members of our task force are members of the Department of Health, the Office on Aging, Maui College, the Veterans Administration, Maui Economic Opportunity, the Office on Aging, our faith-based community, and retired mental health professionals and current mental health professionals. These are all of our members who have been directly affected by suicide as well. Many of them have joined the task force. We can't do this alone. We need your help and we need your support. So this upcoming month, we have several different events, which you can reach at the Maui County office or find on mentalhealthhawaii.org. On Wednesday, September 8th, from 4 to 5 p.m. in front of Queen Kaa'amanu Shopping Center, we will be doing a socially distanced mask sign waving with members of the task force and the MEO youth group. Any members of the community can join us. On Friday, September 10th, we'll be doing a Suicide Prevention Foundations class online. You can find the link and sign up for the training. Please sign up if you can as soon as possible because only 30 can come to the class. But we will be doing this training throughout the rest of the year at some time during each month. On Tuesday, September 14th, we'll have our youth mental health first aid class from 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. You again can register on our Mental Health Hawaii website under the trainings link. And then lastly, on September 30th, will be the second annual virtual Suicide Prevention Mini Conference, Embracing Cultural and Social Protective Factors in Suicide Prevention. This is presented by both Mental Health America of Hawaii and the Oloho Prevent Suicide Maui County Task Force. It will be sponsored by Kamehameha Schools and Papaola Lokai. It'll be from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Registration details will be coming soon, but you can always reach our office at 808-242-6461. In closing, I just want to thank the Mayor's Office, the County of Maui, the Maui County Council, who have supported our efforts in suicide prevention and mental health education for these past few years. Without you and many of our grant funders like Maui United Way, the Hawaii Community Foundation, the McInerney Foundation, and many more, we could not reach the amount of people that we have in this time in Maui County. I want you to know that we are dedicated and we will never cease to help the citizens of Maui County through our education, advocacy, and service. Thank you.
So we can take a picture here and officially provide this proclamation to you.
Okay.
It is a, maybe we'll slide over here. And as we do that, I want to thank also the coalition members and all of us that are joined us on the Zoom meeting call. Thank you for participating in this as well. The more that the community is aware, then the more everybody is aware, then the more prevention we can have. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Sandy.
Again, thank you very much for joining us. And unfortunately, we can't do hugs in COVID, but
True.
Otherwise,
We
give
can
you
go
that
this way. Yeah, we can.
Yeah, very much. And again, thank you everyone for joining us. Appreciate all the work that you do throughout the community. I know some of you and your efforts that you do, and it's wonderful that we can do to help our youth and anyone who is in challenge, whether it's a mental health issue or any kind of depression or issue that they're dealing with. I know community resources at Maui are excellent, and we appreciate especially your leadership in this as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Sandy.
Aloha, everyone.
Aloha, everyone.